You are ready to shift something in your life and to heal for real this time, to really fully take in something new. Thinking about your body, your physical form that is full of water as a wave. So as a wave comes into the ocean, it's going to create a shape. And that shape that it creates at this very moment as it's coming in any snapshot in time as you take a picture, is never going to be in that exact shape, in that exact place ever again. Those molecules of water are never going to be in that same place. Now, how does this relate to your body? Your body, your cells that you have right now in your body, you have cells that have just been created, boom, right now in this moment. You have cells that are dying off, boom, right now in this moment. They are leaving your body. They're going into the waste metabolism of your body, and your body is going to push them out through sweat, through your urine, through your stool, through however you're going to release this from your body. So this imprint of where you're at right now, like a snapshot of this wave, is exactly where your body is now, and it's never going to be the same again. Now, how can you use this concept in order to heal yourself and bring yourself into a new reality? So when I was going through my over a decade of severe chronic illness, I was for so many years in this state of like kind of feeling like I was in a paralyzed wave. Like I was very much in victim mindset for a lot of the time. I was very much in, I need to fix myself, I need to heal myself, which of course I was healing myself. I was allowing myself to come into a different reality, to come into a different wave shape. Though now how I see this is that nothing in the body is fixed. So whereas I was giving myself these labels of, oh, this is exactly called this, and this is exactly called this, and I felt like I was paralyzed in a shape, I realized that I had the ability to shift and change whatever it was that I had in my system. So this imprint of wherever you're at right now, you are temporarily in the state. Now, this allows you to know that you can bring yourself into a new reality. So whatever's in this water at this moment, you have a certain salt level, you have a certain water level. If you look at this in the sea, different fish are going to be swimming through the water. Maybe there's seals, maybe there's sea turtles, there's jellyfish, there's different things that are going to be encompassed in this kind of wave in this part of the ocean at different times. So this is your body. What is your body going through right now? You have different foods in your system. You have different water sources in your system. You have different supplements and herbs in your system. You have different breath that you're bringing in from the environment that you're around. So one thing is physically shifting what it is that you're bringing into your body. Of course, if you're in a place where you're breathing in air that is not good for you, getting into a place where you can breathe in air that is better for you, taking in food that is going to serve you, that is going to keep your wave clean, and movable and viable. Now, I was in this stuck place for years where I felt like I just could not get out of, this place with all the understandings of the different diets I was trying, the different, sources of water that I was, using water filters and all these different things. I was using air purifiers. Eventually I did mold remediation and got out of the mold, which made a huge difference in my life. And then the other side of this is the internal side of it. So I could only do so much physically. When it came to shifting my whole body, I realized that I had to internally understand what it was that I wanted. So like creating the shape of the wave that I envisioned. So for instance, I made a vision board somewhere around probably 2018. And I had on it just all outdoor activities. I hadn't done much camping, but I knew, or any outdoor sports, but I knew that being in nature was something that made me feel so much better. And, at this point in 2018, through a lot of 2018, I was living in a dark bedroom. I was wearing noise canceling headphones and dark sunglasses. I was very, very low on a food list. At the worst of it, I was eating 10 different foods because my body wouldn't tolerate anything else. So I was envisioning this life that I wanted in the future, which felt extremely far away. It felt like it was oceans away in the waves. But I was creating the wave shape that I wanted to see in the future. So I put that all on my vision board. Now come fast forward to 2021, not too much further into the future, and I just literally realized, oh my God, I am in my vision board. Everything on my vision board had come true. I was a whitewater raft guide. I was sitting in front of fire pits and, around groups of friends. I was around animals. I was in nature all the time. I had water sports on my vision board just because I loved water and I loved nature, but I had no idea how that was going to manifest. A whitewater raft guide was not on my radar, though I did as a kid have a vision of this, that I was going to be a whitewater raft guide, interestingly. But that was not what was at the forefront of my mind. So I had created this wave shape in my mind of what I wanted to be in my life in a specific moment in the future. What was I eating? What was I breathing? What was I drinking? Who was I surrounding myself? Who was I allowing in the vicinity of my wave here? Through this process of getting from being in a dark bedroom to, and barely socializing, barely understanding language some days, to suddenly doing an extremely demanding job of, whitewater rafting, where I'm socializing with people. I'm in charge of people's safety and lives. I am physically demanded, mentally demanded, to make all these decisions and to get people safely and have fun in this process. So I have videos talking about how I got to this place more specifically, because it gets very in depth with everything. But the short of it is that I changed what I was creating, what I was allowing in my wave on a day-to-day. So, deciding what I wanted in my food intake, deciding what I wanted in my air intake, in my water intake. What, more importantly, what are the thoughts that I can bring in and shift? So noticing, okay, this thought is coming in and this is not benefiting me at all. This is not benefiting me at all. I am catching the pops. I'm catching the things that are coming through that are saying, no, like, this is keeping me stuck in this old wave that I don't want to be in, this old shape that isn't benefiting me. And this molding of the mind and our spirit and how we feel is what is bringing the shape in on like an under the surface level that then manifests into a physical form. Because the more that we are thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm a bad person, I'm shameful, like I'm the victim of this experience, I had these things happen in my life and I cannot overcome these, woe is me. I was there for years. Like, this is definitely not like blaming anybody for feeling this way. This is just an invitation to say there is another way to exist. I did it. I came out of this. I fully changed my reality. I fully changed the timeline that I'm existing in now. And I fully believe that you can do this too. I had chronic late-stage neurological Lyme disease. I had toxic mold. I had multiple chemical sensitivity. I had multiple autoimmune things going on. I had the MTHRF gene. I had the CBS gene. I had all these things, and I flipped the genetic expressions for those things, and I'm no longer experiencing the sulfur intolerance, the vitamin B intolerance, and things like that. This is possible to shift our wave shape. Please comment down below if you have been experiencing this difference in your wave shape, if you have created vision boards and you're bringing yourself into this, if you're feeling stuck. Let me know what your feelings are down below. Again, I shifted, I changed, and I know so many people have, and we all have the potential to change our reality. All right, thanks for listening and being here and taking this in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.